Real quick. Hello, Don Leske here. Time to do another little video. Got a few things on my mind. First, I want to tell you about this drink I've got. Well, it's an adult soft drink, I guess, but 3.71, I think 3.7% alcohol by volume. At least that's what I get. The print is so small, I had to use a magnifying glass. It's really, but this is some really good stuff. Seagram's Jamaican Me Happy. So it tastes pretty good. Lemon, strawberry, watermelon, and guava. I'm not sure what all the ingredients are. I probably shouldn't be drinking it. I'm diabetic, and well, you know. So another thing I like here recently, I've been eating, is this trail mix. This is the Kirkland brand, bought at Costco. And we get it by the box, and there's, I don't know how many, 48 in the box or whatever. But this has peanuts, M&Ms, milk chocolate candies, raisins, almonds, and cashews. Pretty good. Very, it's a very good snack, in my opinion. I've got a bag here I didn't finish last night, so I didn't want to. It's not good to have an open bag of anything. If you're going to open something, you should eat it. Well, it's got all kinds of nutrition facts on the back. It's pretty good. Was it good for me or not? I don't know. Now, I've started reading several books. I wrote a book. I'm an author. It's on Amazon for sale as a Kindle book. It's called Different and Exciting Ways to Make Money. I don't know, it's like $2.95. But if you email me at Don Leske, DONLESKE, at gmail.com, I'll send you a free copy on PDF format. Email it to you. No cost. I didn't write the book to make money. I've already made money. And I didn't become an author in my 60s to make money. Anyway, that being said, I'm writing a second book, Landlord, Tenant Nightmares. I'm a property manager. We've got between 500 and 600 doors at any one time. Been managing rentals for over 30 years. And I can tell you, it gets crazy. I've got some YouTube videos about that out there right now. If you want to see my videos, you can go to Donald Leske and just use that as a keyword, and most of my videos will pop up. One of the books I have read, and it's quite good actually, is The Reaper. So this is called The Reaper. Nicholas Irving spent 6 years in the Army Special Operations 3rd Ranger Battalion, 75th Ranger Regiment, serving from demolitions assaulter to master sniper. He was the first African American to serve as a sniper in his battalion and is now the owner of Hard Shoot, where he trains personnel on the art of long-range shooting. From Olympians to members of Spec Ops Unit, a special ops unit. He lives in San Antonio, Texas. Shout out to you, brother. Nicholas, man, great career, great book, written by Gary Brozek, Brozek. I don't know, I paid $15 for the book. I read it. It's a good book. And there is color photographs in the book and so on. So, interesting read. Now I buy a lot of books because they're exciting. I love books. When I was a kid, I used to read books under the covers at night with a flashlight. Get my parents get mad, you know. So I used to read a lot of books, and I got away from it over the years as I got a little bit older because raising a family and work to do. I was tired at night, didn't have time, but I'm trying to get back into reading more books now. My eyesight's not as good as it used to be, but I've had double cataract surgery. Some of the things I deal with is I have gout in my hands and my feet. It's very painful. I'm in pain right now. I take 3,000 milligrams of gabapentin painkiller, and that helps. It doesn't take it all away, but it does help, and I can function. I can drive a car. Anyway, this book I bought was by Colin Flattery, Flaherty, Flattery. Don't Make the Black Kids Cry. Now, I tell you, I'm in a mixed marriage myself. I'm not prejudiced. No, I don't think I am. Maybe once in a while I am, depending on the situation. But in general, I got your back. I don't care what color you are. You know, I trained for the ministry for many, many years. I believe in God Almighty and Jesus Christ as my ransom Savior. Stone cold, non-denominational Christian. That's me. But don't make the black kids angry. Basically, is written by a man that I don't think is really prejudiced. Actually, all he has in this book, all it is facts about different black crime committed in America. It talks about things that I've gone on the internet and researched myself to confirm, such as 13.6% of America is black. I thought it was like 50-50. But yeah, I don't know. But it's only 13.6%. But then the crime statistics from the FBI show that close to 50% of homicides are committed by black people, and mostly against other black people. But there's places like Detroit, Michigan, Chicago, Illinois, parts of New York City, other places where Watts near LA. There's a lot of predominantly black areas where white people are afraid to go at nighttime. It talks about many of these things. Now, to be honest with you, I haven't read the whole book. I started getting into it, and it's just there's so much negativity, but it's backed up by facts. You know, it's literally a book of black crime, right? Most black people and a lot of white people just throw it away, but I found some interest in it. Well, I'm not going to go into reading any of it. It's not necessary. Um, but it's pretty raw. Now, he's on YouTube quite a bit. Don't make the black kids angry, and he's got a lot of videos on YouTube. And that's how I found out about the book. But I lost interest fairly quickly, only because there's no real stories here other than the facts about blacks in America committing crime against other blacks. So, and it talks about why white Americans, not me, but some white Americans are afraid of black people. And they'll actually walk across the street in fear just to get away from, if there's one or two more coming their direction on the sidewalk, they'll just go across the street. It ain't like that with me. I'll go straight up, and I don't have no fear. Maybe not downtown Watts. That's stupid. No sense being stupid. We have some predominantly black areas in our area. So I didn't read the whole book, read a little bit of it. Okay. Here's a book I just got recently. It's called In Defense of Internment, The Cause for Racial Profiling in World War II and the War on Terror. Now this is some deep reading, let me tell you. Michelle Malkin. Michelle Malkin wrote this book, and she's a Filipino American. My wife is Filipino, so I thought, really? So, come to find out, this lady is really well educated, college educated. It's what's called a myth-shattering book. Talked about why there's internment of Japanese in World War II, and there's misguided guilt about the past that hampers our ability to prevent future terrorist attacks. It lays out the groundwork why these things have happened, and why most likely the same thing will happen again in the future. There are some photos in here that are very interesting. It's just, you have to read it to believe it. Now, I haven't read the whole book, to be quite honest. I've read, I don't know, I read up to page 15. And you got to know Roman numerals if you want to know what page you're on. This uses Roman numerals for a ways. Anyway, then it goes into what happened. Very interesting reading. I am still reading it, but I'm kind of hit and miss because there's so many other books that draw my attention. I guess I'm building a little library. I don't know why. But a lot of the books I bought and are authorized are signed by the author. I don't think I had this one signed. No. But I would like to meet her someday. This is a really brilliant lady. She's been in some high offices, and check it out. In Defense of Internment. Now, if you're a prejudiced person, if you think everybody's prejudiced and you wouldn't read a book like that because you think it's being prejudiced, that's just sticking your head in the sand. Listen, I'll read anything. I'll look at anything once, and most things twice. You know, got to keep an open mind and then judge the facts for yourself. I'll get into that more a little bit later. Well, how about right now? My favorite book, my favorite lady, my favorite book only because it tells the truth about what I already knew to be a fact. This is Brigitte Gabriel. She's Lebanese and born over there amidst all the Muslims and Islamic people and Christians. It's called They Must Be Stopped. Why we must defeat radical Islam and how we can do it. This is not a book against Muslims. There are millions, I mean millions of good Muslims all over the world. But this is talking about radical Islam. Okay? So, They Must Be Stopped. Great book. I'm reading it right now. She did sign it, signed by the author. She started a movement called Act for America. I joined that movement. I'm a paid member, proudly so. September 9th, there's a huge rally, 2017. I'm going to try to make it. But in any case, I'm trying to work with the Pierce County chapter of the Act for America. And Act for America simply wants to protect Americans. Okay? Right now, our tools are what they are. We have the President of the United States, Donald Trump, right now. Should back him up. Let's see what the man can do. And if you don't like him, you can vote somebody else in next time. And then if you want all of us to fight against your choice for a president, keep doing it. If you're Antifa or Democrat or anybody that fights against this president and won't support him, it's time to get a clue. Because the same thing can happen to you. Our country could just go right down the tubes. That ain't cool. Anyway, this is a good book. There's a lot of things I could say about it. I think it's not fair for me to read the book to you. I'd love to just read the book and have an audio version of it. But be aware of the insidious way that harmful people can take over, like in Nazi Germany. The Germans were a good people, but they were led astray by a charismatic person that pulled a lot of strings and did a lot of devious things, and Hitler. Okay, we have the Muslim Brotherhood Project for North America. They're funding radical Islam. Yet millions and millions of dollars are being funneled to them and given to them by people that think this is a good thing to help welcome Muslims or to help integrate them. It's not. Bad things, really bad things. The book lays it out. It's absolutely the truth. This is riveting, compelling, and spellbinding. This is a must-read for the entire American public. Steve Emerson, author of the New York Times bestseller, American Jihad. It's just got a numerous people speaking up of how great this book is. Major General of the U.S. Army. Just on and on. Okay. I became interested in the Muslim movement because of things I saw on YouTube that were unsettling. And I still think there's some good Muslims out there. Of course, many are good. But I think what happens is I think they have their mosque, and they have their Koran, and they have their Sharia law. A lot of them don't live by the Sharia law, but they're devout Muslims. The radical Muslims come along and say, we will kill you. Straight out, we will kill you if you don't live by the Sharia law. So they treat them worse than their enemies. Now, I know that to be a fact because I've researched it. I also bought the Sharia law. I began reading about the Sharia law. Political Islam. Islam is a political movement. Call it a religion. It's really a shroud of a political movement with their religion mixed in, with a goal of dominating the world. Every country in the world must become Muslim, or they will kill the people that don't switch over. So if people don't become Muslim and Islamic and accept Sharia law, put a burqa on their women with the eyes set like that, you got to beat their women like dogs. Can't drive a car for women. And I don't want to get into what the men are subjected to. Sharia law. So here we are again. To better understand Sharia law, I bought a copy of the Koran. Now, this particular copy of the Koran is written by a Muslim, English translation by Mr. Pickthall, and you can see when you look in this book that it's part English and part Arabic. English, Arabic. So I'm able to understand it that way. I've compared it with some of the quoted verses that the Islamic imam preachers have put out on the internet, and the book is accurate. I was very actually shocked reading in here about Moses and a lot of the people in the Bible. And come to find out, well, it quotes verse for verse, not a lot, but a section of it here, a section of it, our Bible, and puts it in here. So it's like, really? And they hold Moses, even Jesus, to be a prophet. And all these are prophets. Yet, if they were here today, they would kill them. WTF, right? What the Frankenheimer. Anyway, I'm reading it, and I'm going over here page by page, and there's some good things in here. I'll have to say, their teachers, the mullahs, the imam, their teachers, they read all these good things, and sermon after sermon. There's quite a few. It's a big book. And they read this page after page. It talks about Muhammad like he's Jesus Christ. Now, I'm reading the book. I'm continuing to read it. My eyes are being opened. I don't want to get into this right now because I got to run. This film is running too long. There's a lot to be said about the Islamic faith. I can see why they're devout. I can see where there's a lot of good in their book, a lot of good. But then I can see some things in here that absolutely is not good, in my humble opinion. And as a Christian, of course, Muslims will become radical, or they'll be killed by the radical Muslims. And once radicalized, they'll open training camps here in America. Now, you may not know about this, so maybe you should Google it. Islamic training camps in America. There's like 22 of them already. Didn't know that? Really? They bear arms, they bear guns, they march to the beat of their own drum. They're practicing and getting ready for warfare. And the authorities are saying, well, they haven't broken any laws. So they'll let them do it. Whereas the good Muslims are being good and helping their neighbor, and they're doing good things. Yes, they are. Until the radical ones come in and change it all and tell their imams and their mullahs and their leaders that we will kill you if you do not live by the Sharia law and do what we tell you to do. Well, I bought this book because I wanted to read it, and to be quite frank, I haven't got very far into the book, but it seemed like it's quite interesting. I just haven't had time to read it, but I'm going to. It's the return of radical violence to America and how the media ignores it. And the mass media doesn't report this stuff. But so this is Colin Flaherty again. He's talking about racial violence. The thing I don't get is why some people that are black are looking for any white person to kill and to beat up. And, you know, a lot of us, the majority of Americans today, I'll say the majority, never had slaves. You know how many plantation slave owners there were back in the 1700s? Not very many, compared to all the white people that after the Civil War moved here. My family moved here from Germany after the Civil War through Ellis Island. We never had slaves, but they want to kill us or beat us up or whatever they want to do. They're saying we don't have racial equality. This country has been nothing but pro-racial equality since, I don't know what, 1965 or something like that. And prior to that, it was freedom, but people had to work for their freedom. Now they're, ever since 65, they've been having special they've had special measures, whether it's jobs, college, tuition, whatever it is, for black people, like an atonement. And really, and now we've had a black president, not for one term, but for 2 terms. And what has he done? I don't know. I can't find out. I don't know. I haven't really seen anything other than deeper in debt. So this book says racial violence is back. White girl bleed a lot. White girl bleed a lot. Well, it's about this white girl that was beat up and she's bleeding profusely, and the women that beat her up said, "Ow, white girl bleed a lot." Just unprovoked attacks. So this is, again, colon clarity. I'm not motivated to read a lot of it right now, anyway, but I may. America Invades. Here's a book, Christopher Kelly. I met the author, and he did sign it for me, so that was kind of cool that he signed it. But anyway, this book is talking about all the countries that America has invaded over the years. Got his signature right there. And I thought when I first met the guy, I said, "Oh man, this is going to be a load of crap, man. It's just about all the countries America invaded over the years." Like, almost like initially I'm thinking it's a put down of America. But the reality is he's just stating the facts. And factually, if America didn't go in and invade some of these countries, they would have lost everything. Some of the invasions didn't work out so well. Some of them we should have never done, admittedly so. But our goal was, in all, pretty much the majority of invasion, and when we went into other countries, was to help the population to judge for themselves and elect their own president, to have a system where they can have freedom and peace. Freedom and peace is really the goal. So, not a bad book. Again, I just started to read this book, and I got a few pages in. There's my bookmarker here. But I picked up the Koran again, because I got to keep reading that Koran. I really got to know my P's and Q's, understand how these people think. That's going to be a job. I found another book, America and Prophecy. It was free, so I took it. I like the flag, the American eagle. It says some interesting things about how in the Bible prophesied that America would be the greatest country in the world. We would lose some war heavily. Well, there was the Vietnam War, right? But we would come back strong. And talks about the end times and stuff. I just haven't had time to read it, but intend to. Got a book called Sky Pilots. Larry Wagner wrote this book. Larry Wagner is a personal friend of mine. I found out that he wrote this book. Well, I didn't know he wrote this book, and it's called Sky Pilots. True story of World War II aces during World War II. An American ace and a Nazi Germany ace. Now, this is interesting to me. This is a true story, by the way. This book is interesting to me because I have an uncle that flew for Nazi Germany, Luftwaffe. And my dad was in the American Air Force. Oh no, I think maybe he might have been a grand uncle. Anyway, I did get into this book. I did start to read quite a bit of it. I haven't got all the way through it, but it is an interesting book. So I think my time's about up. I do have this little book I got right here. It's the American Constitution, page by page, verse by verse. The American Constitution. Everybody should own something like this. Read the book. Understand. It's really not very big. Understand what our Constitution is. Constitution of the United States of America. God bless America. God bless you. I have love in my heart for all people. Did I say love in my fart? I didn't say that. Anyway, I have love in my heart for everybody. My wife and I are planning another trip to the Philippines. We go there a couple times a year, and we bring medication, food, and clothing to orphanages, schools. Sometimes, well, we've been to the Ati tribe in Zimbalas, and the Mayong, I think that's how you pronounce it, Mayong tribe in the Mindoro area and near Puerto Galera, and bringing bags and bags of food up to those people. So just in our own way, trying to help. Um, I have opinions about President Duterte of the Philippines. I happen to think he's a great man. He's doing a very, very hard job. And there's a lot of opponents to what he's doing, but they knew about it before he was voted in. He told them what he's going to do. If people are hurting my country, I will kill them. Well, so anyway, um, I've talked to quite a few Filipinos, the older people especially, that are now coming around to him. They see the crime rate has gone way down. I mean, ridiculously way down. Thousands of criminals have given up rather than being killed. Those who didn't give up, they're still involved in criminal activities and so on. Yeah, you know. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and sign off. You get a chance to try that Seagram's. Pretty good stuff. God bless.